First, I'd like to talk about some of the points that the negative brought up. Yes, my opponent had a good example when he talked about the paint, like paintball guns, I guess you could target, and how a student was able to a student who was a gun enthusiast wasn't even able to protect himself. We're not talking about students, we're talking about the teachers, and not also are we just talking about the teachers, but we're talking about people who, in states that already allow concealed carry permits, we're saying that they can actually bring them on campus if they're a student or an administrator, because then, like I said, then they'll be able to not only protect themselves but the kids on campus, and we'll get to that in a second. If there's a will, there's a way. I've heard that saying 100 times. If whether it's a student or an outside person wants to inflict harm on people, they will. Like, yes, my opponent also brought up metal detectors and other ways to, hopefully stop people from bringing guns and weapons to school. What's to say that person, who's working a metal detector, doesn't have a weapon? Someone could turn the corner, shoot them, and boom, they're on campus. Or they could forcefully make their way onto campus, like I said, if they're coming off, if they're not already a student who is on campus. No, this is a really drastic example, but my opponent brought up the fact that, like I said, there hasn't been a lot of shootings. He is right, but the problem is that, there's still a chance it can happen. And like I said, this drastic example is 9/11. Yes, it was crazy, that these terrorists were able to crash planes into, a building and cause this much pain on our country. But it happened. And has there really been a big terrorist attack like that since? No. So like I said, I feel like we shouldn't just say, oh, hey, it hasn't happened in a while. Let's just cut our TSA off and let's not have them do their job. And also, lastly, the negative brought up and say that it's not the teacher's job to or protect their students. I do agree with that. Their job is to go into a classroom and teach them and get them prepared for life after school and teach them life lessons. But if we look back at Sandy Hook last year, the first grade teacher here /hero, Victoria Soto, was shot and killed after hiding her kids in the closet and told the gunman that the kids were in the gym. Might she still be alive if she had had a weapon on her to defend herself? Like I said, with this point, the teacher did her job. Actually, she went above. She already hid the kids. It was the gunman and her. And if she had a weapon, maybe she would have lost that. It's sad to say, maybe she would have lost that battle. Maybe she didn't, but it still would have gave her a fighting chance in not only protecting herself, but like I said, protecting herself, even though her kids were already hiding in the closet safe. And also, I'd like to talk about another shooting that happened at Pearl High School in 1997. There was a young man who was, he had some mental issues, and he was shooting on the campus. Well, the assistant principal heard the gunshots, and he was actually an avid, avid shooter, and he actually had a handgun, a .45 in his car, and so he's actually able to run out to his car, grab his gun, and actually, stop the Luke Woodham, who was the man who, the kid who did the shooting, from going not only from the high school campus but down the street to the elementary school. He was stated, here was a monster killing in my school, and the minute I put a gun to his head, he turned into a kid again. This is just a perfect example on how, having a gun is a deterrent. It stops that person, because this person thinks, who has the gun, they're thinking, hey, no one's going to stop me, no one else has guns, I'm going to go in and do as much damage as I can. And then, to wrap this up, every second counts in a school shooting. Calling 911 and waiting for the police to arrive isn't good enough. Spartanburg County in South Carolina, Sheriff Chuck Wright says, our form of justice is not making it. Carrying a concealed weapon, that will fix it. He has been quoted in many other instances in favor of more guns. There was a Milwaukee County Sheriff, David Clark Jr., who recently created a national uproar for urging citizens to learn how to handle firearms so they can defend themselves, because simply calling 911 and waiting is no longer your best option. What happens when the closest police is 10 minutes away? One of two scenarios will happen: die or become injured waiting to be rescued, or fight back. We should give our children and teachers a fighting chance. Now, how many more times are we going to hear about crazy guns and walking into a school armed and ready to kill? How many more innocent children need to die before we wake up and prepare our teachers to fight back? The only solution is self-responsibility. arm school officials and give them a fighting chance. No gunman is going to target a school that can't defend itself to fight back. Thank you.